Hey, happy Friday to you. It's a trigger, Rich Bontrager, back for 2 p.m. with the trigger. The weekend's just around the corner, and I hope the week's been great to you. And I hope you have wonderful plans to get out there and enjoy the weekend. I'm going to divert from some of my normal talks and sharing on the 2 p.m.s. And I'm going to get a little bit personal today, but there's a good reason why that is. National Stutter Awareness Week is coming up May 8th through the 13th. I am going to really dive into that because I stutter. I have lived with a lifelong stutter, and yet I have enjoyed a very exciting and fun career as a professional sports broadcaster, interviewer, talk show host. And now I get to do all this live streaming stuff and meet amazing people. But it wasn't always that way. Uh, Growing up, I had a lifelong battle that really threw me for a loop growing up. Um, I had a lot of great ideas in my head, and I could not get them out of my mouth in a way that connected, kept good attention. I got bad attention. I got bullied. I got nicknamed. I was labeled as one that was slow or not intelligent enough or whatever you want to put on that. And it really affected my self confidence more than anything else. I had big dreams inside of my head and heart. My confidence to step out and do those dreams was definitely impacted by my stutter and mostly by the people that did bully and not understand the stutter. Now, National Stutter Awareness Week, we're going to have a great time, but I'm also looking for people that have dealt with stuttering. They know that feeling that rushes over them when they have the words, it's in their mind, they want to say it, and it doesn't come out. They understand the d or the does, and it's very frustrating. But one of the things that stutterers often do not want, they do not want you to jump in and fix it for them. They don't want you to finish their sentence. And I know that sounds counterproductive because we want to help people. We want to ease the tension. We want to help people be relaxed. That's another thing. More often, when you tell people just relax, slow down, take a breath, it doesn't work. Most stutterers are relaxed. They do feel comfortable with what they want to share. That's not it. They're not nervous. The nervousness kicks in when all the heads turn around. You see people clinch up really tight and they get anxious for you because it's going to be a train wreck instead of letting stutters just work through it. My mother has a lifelong stutter, and so my mother's stutter has been way more impacted in her life than even mine. I've found ways to get around it. I've learned tips and tricks on my own with no formal training, but hers is a thicker, harder stutter. So I've been around this all my life, and still to today, there are people, organizations, industries that just don't quite understand how to let us work through it. I want to educate, I want to inspire, I want to help people and show that we're just like everybody else. Truth be told, most of us probably have some sort of defect. We have some sort of things we're afraid of um, that we would never share. And stutterers, it just pops out. That's another myth, by the way. Another myth about stuttering is they're afraid to speak. That's really not true at all. Many of the stutterers that I know, many of the actors, singers that are very well known, they do not have a fear of stepping up to the microphone. That's not it. They just don't know how to do it comfortably. By the way, did you know this? This is one of those myths. Let me just bust up a myth here. This is kind of funny. So it's been widely thought of one of the triggers of a stutter is having a child change from being left-handed to right-handed for writing, for throwing a football, for catching a baseball, whatever it is. There was a wide belief in the 20th century that stutter would kick in because you were having them change left to righty. Again, that myth is not true. What it does, however, highlight is the anxiety, the stress that comes when you're forcing people to do something they don't want to do. It brings anxiety into your life, not just in stuttering, in many other walks of life. We get anxious when we're being told, that's wrong, this is right, don't do this, do this. I've got the best way. In stutterers, it comes out in the way we speak. But that was science. That was thought process up until about 1940. Then they began to throw that out in 1940. Now, stuttering is caused by emotional trauma is one of those also thoughts. Where it's not emotional trauma, there are other triggers of your life. And I'll be sharing those during that week long of National Stutter Awareness Week. And that date, by the way, mark your calendar. We're going to use 2 p.m. live. We're going to use these lives to educate and inspire. It's going to be the 8th through the 13th of May, coming up just around the corner. And I'm going to be doing a whole series during that time of I stutter. Now, I can laugh about it now, and I can talk about it openly now. In fact, it's one of my keynotes that I talk on this, and I share with people, both in stuttering organizations that help people and in just public speaking. Because the number one fear in all the world is speaking. The number one fear is overcoming that fear of speaking. And I see, thank you for the comment dropping in here. 100%, yes. And there's so much we're going to get into this over the next couple of weeks as we get closer and closer to celebrating National Stutter Awareness Week. But the fear of speaking is number one in all the world. People have been afraid of that and afraid of that. They say fear of speaking is higher rated than fear of death. But for stutterers, it's so much more complicated because family history, family dynamics do play into that. And I share that during my talks. Now, my family was highly influential. They were all brainiacs, scientists, politicians, very strong personalities. I was surrounded by that all my life. Now, I was the more, I wouldn't say totally introverted kid, but I was introverted because I didn't want to be embarrassed by my stutter. But I was the dreamer. I loved my comic books. I loved my movies. I loved curling up in a corner, getting lost in my imagination. And it wasn't because of my stutter. That was my natural creative nature. That's who I am still today. But schools, teachers, other people saw that trait in me and thought it was because of my stutter. Not true at all. The biggest battle I faced from that stutter was the bullying, was the embarrassment, was even my own family members making it harder on me. Now, I would love during that National Stutter Awareness Week to not have to be just my story, my experience. I would love to talk with you, fellow people that stutter, and I would love to have you share your story and be a part of this journey to inspire, to educate, to take away some of them are silly myths, some of them more serious myths, but people are just so uncomfortable when we struggle with our speech. There's a list of people we're going to celebrate that have overcome their speech. They have an amazing, amazing career. But I want to hear from you. What I want is that you connect with me, rich@richbontrager.net. That's rich@richbontrager.net. But do you stutter? Let's have a conversation. Let's get on a private Zoom call, and let's see if you would like to be a part of our live discussion all week long. My 2 p.m. lives will feature different individuals as they share their message, and we talk in dialogue about stuttering. If you want to have a pre-recorded session that we can use at another time, that'd be a great way to go as well, because this is a year-round thing that I do, but this is a focused thing that is happening right now. 70 million people worldwide stutter. 70 million. That's 1 in 100 here in America. Look around your office. Look around your school. Look around your church right now. You know probably at least one, if not two people that struggle with stuttering. Can you feel their anxiety? Do you feel that you need to rush to save them when they speak? Do you think they might be lesser than because of their stutter? Join us again during that amazing week coming up, National Stutter Awareness Week, May 8th through the 13th. And we're going to break down the myths. We're going to bring some inspiration of people that have achieved greatly. And one of the things that I've learned in my stuttering, and I want you to think about this as we prepare for this, I have learned to laugh at myself. When I was a child, I could not laugh at my own stutter. I could not laugh. In fact, I ran out of the classroom crying. I could not read the books out loud. The children would make funny faces at me, trying to get me to screw up. And I could not embrace the idea of laughing at my stutter. I thought it defined me. Now, when I give speeches, and I do blow it, when I'm live streaming and interviewing people, I will blow it. My tongue and my brain don't always match at the same rate and same speed, but often, especially during a live keynote, I will stop. I will crack a joke. I'll even do an Elmer Fudd type of imitation, or just do, let's try that again. One of the things that stutters like myself have often found is you take it far more seriously than we do. And it only adds the tension in the room. One way to help a stutter, if you want to help stutterers, relax, let them roll with it. And if they laugh, join in them with their laughter, because that's part of their way of coping, relaxing, resetting, and going back out there once again. I'm excited about this. I'm always thrilled to come back to this time of year and focus in on the amazing world of people defying the odds. And this is through stuttering. Again, mark your calendars. Join us. It's going to be a week-long event of I Stutter. It's the National Stuuter Awareness Week coming up on May 8th through the 13th. And if you would like to be a part of it, email me, rich@richbontrager.net. Or if you would like to, give me a call. Going to put my number up here. That's it. Grab the number. Give me a call. It goes directly to me. And I would love to hear from you. And let's break some of these myths. Let's tear down some of these walls. Let's take away the awkwardness, and let's educate, inspire for greater understanding of who we are and what we can really bring to the world. That's it for today. That's my special edition of 2 p.m. with the Trigger. We'll be back more next week with more tips and tricks and insights to better help you shine on camera, shine on stage, and rock the stage. Have a great weekend, everybody.